Welcome to the Thinker's Path and today's story, The Strategist's Curse. In the embrace of a stormy night, David Carter, a renowned war strategist and historian, found himself standing before the looming gates of an ancient mansion perched precariously on a cliff's edge, overlooking a raging sea below. The mansion, known among a select few as the Arkwright Estate, was hosting a private auction of military artifacts, a gathering discreet and exclusive, attracting collectors of arcane and powerful relics. David's invitation had come unexpectedly, sealed with black wax, the insignia unknown to him. The lure was not the auction itself, but the promise of an item so rare that it had no recorded existence beyond rumors whispered in the circles of war scholars. The lost scrolls of Sun Tzu, rumored to contain strategies omitted from the art of war for their dark potency. As David entered the grand foyer of the estate, lined with armors and weapons of ancient warriors, he felt a chill that wasn't from the cold. The host, a tall man named Hawthorne, who carried an air of both aristocracy and secrecy, welcomed him. "Mr. Carter, we are honored by your presence. The scrolls you are interested in are indeed here. Their authenticity is unquestionable." The auction was a tense affair, each lot bringing with it a sense of urgency and hidden desire. When the scrolls were finally unveiled, a hush fell over the room. They were older than any manuscript David had ever seen, bound in faded silk, their characters dancing with an almost sinister elegance. Driven by a desire that bordered on obsession, David won the scrolls at a price that pained even his substantial finances. Hawthorne, handing over the scrolls, leaned in closely, whispering a forewarning lost in the echoes of the storm outside. Back at his study, with the scrolls laid out on his ancient oak desk, David began to translate them. The strategies described were brilliant yet unsettling, focusing on manipulating not just armies, but the very minds and wills of opponents, sowing seeds of paranoia, fear, and betrayal. Weeks blurred as David delved deeper into the scrolls, but as he did, strange occurrences began to disrupt the solitude of his mansion. Shadows flickered at the corners of his vision. Whispers filled the halls at night, and his dreams were haunted by visions of battles where he was both commander and condemned. The most disturbing part came when David translated a passage describing a strategy of sacrifice, not just of pawns, but of the very soul of the strategist, to gain ultimate power. It was then he realized why the scroll was hidden from history. It was not a guide for commanding armies, but for summoning and commanding dark, ancient forces that thrived on chaos and destruction. Horrified at what he had unleashed, David attempted to rid himself of the scrolls, but found them inexplicably returned to his desk each morning. His life became a battleground, his sanity the prize. Paranoia gripped him. He saw enemies in every shadow, betrayal in every whisper. In a final, desperate act, David set the scrolls aflame, hoping to sever the bond he had unwittingly formed. But as the scrolls burned, the fire spread unnaturally, consuming his study, then the entire mansion. The last thing David saw were the characters of the scroll, glowing in the flames, seemingly laughing at his folly. Months later, the charred remains of the estate were cleared. Among the ruins, a construction worker found a surprisingly intact wooden box, its contents undamaged by the fire. Inside, the scrolls lay untouched, their secrets waiting patiently for the next unwary soul. The worker, unaware of the curse he held in his hands, felt a surge of curiosity and excitement, a feeling he couldn't explain. As he tucked the box under his arm, destined for his own home, the storm that had abated for weeks began to stir once again, as if awakening to accompany the scrolls to their new abode. In the art of war, it is said that all warfare is based on deception. But beware, for some deceptions can deceive the deceiver himself, leading him into a battle that cannot be won, only endured. Welcome to our exploration of The Strategist's Curse, a chilling narrative that intertwines Sun Tzu's The Art of War with supernatural horror. Today we'll delve into the themes, symbols, and philosophical implications of this gripping story. At the heart of The Strategist's Curse lies the character of David Carter, a war strategist and historian whose life changes dramatically after acquiring ancient scrolls believed to contain lost strategies of Sun Tzu. These scrolls, however, harbor dark powers that manipulate the very essence of human conflict and deceit. The story taps into the fundamental idea of Sun Tzu's philosophy that all warfare is based on deception. However, it twists this concept by showing that the ultimate deception can also deceive the deceiver. This narrative choice raises the question of whether the pursuit of power and understanding, particularly through war, might ultimately lead to one's destruction. David's initial excitement about obtaining the scrolls quickly turns into horror as he realizes the strategies require not just tactical sacrifices, but but the sacrifice of one's soul. This introduces a moral dilemma. It reflects on the ethical implications of warfare where the line between winning and self-destruction blurs. The presence of supernatural elements, shadows, whispers, and unsettling dreams serves as a metaphor for the haunting effects of guilt and paranoia that often follow those who engage in morally dubious acts of manipulation and control. The mansion, isolated and stormy, amplifies this atmosphere, becoming a physical representation of David's increasingly disturbed psyche. Interestingly, the curse associated with the scrolls is not merely about unleashing dark forces. It's about the cyclical nature of violence and treachery that humanity cannot seem to escape. The story concludes with the scrolls surviving a fire meant to destroy them, suggesting that these destructive cycles are perennial, awaiting the next unwary soul. Finally, the story's conclusion, where the scrolls find a new owner unwittingly, underscores another of Sun Tzu's principles. The importance of knowing one's enemy. In this case, the enemy is the unseen force within the scrolls, and ignorance of this true enemy leads to repeated tragedy. The Strategist's curse invites us to reflect on the darker aspects of human nature and history. It serves as a cautionary tale about the depths to which one can fall when the lust for power overrides moral boundaries. It reminds us that in war, whether against others or within oneself, the greatest casualty can often be the soul.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Now please stay tuned for a special presentation and powerful offer.
What if I told you the most powerful force on the planet isn't money, love, or energy, but sound? Yes, sound. This secret, known to the ancient Egyptians, harnessed the power to connect with forces beyond our understanding, influencing everything from healing to the course of history itself. And today, that power is finally within your reach. Deep in the Egyptian deserts, there exists a secretive school, a place of profound knowledge and power, attended by the wealthiest and most influential figures in the world. Their fortunes and influence are immense, yet you won't find their names on any rich list. They wield a secret so potent that it powered the miracles of prophets and shaped the destinies of nations. But the core of this ancient wisdom, it's sound, frequencies that resonate with the fabric of the universe, capable of curing diseases, attracting prosperity, and emitting an aura of vitality and attractiveness. This knowledge, once reserved for pharaohs and hidden by the elite, is now accessible. Why do certain individuals thrive while others struggle? The answer doesn't lie in what they do, but in what they listen to. The right sound can elevate your life to new heights, drawing your deepest desires directly to you. However, these powers that be have guarded this secret fiercely. They monitor events to ensure the secret isn't widely spread. But today the secret is out. Today it is placed in front of you. This is your moment. The chance to harness the most ancient and powerful knowledge known to mankind. Are you ready to unlock the secrets that can transform your existence? All you need to do is listen. Click the link in the description to learn more.